Hey there, Internet. Our Felix Finch here, and I know I'm in a different framing. You can see my pinboard is back here today, and I've got a bunch of sewing stuff going on, a new dresser with my stuff, my bike over here. Sorry, just things got rushed, so my apologies. I'm making some masks that I need to send out, so I've been a bit busy. Anyway, we are back with Underground Lucha Things, the Lucha Underground Retrospective, where somebody who, despite knowing many of these people on a personal level, and some of them in a godly way, have watched Robert Rodriguez's offering to the wrestling world, but I'm not alone. Joining me on this journey, showing me what I missed out on, helping explain things that I may not understand, is the one, the only, from the Isle of Hawaii, Angie FN of Midcard Mana. Angie, how you doing today?
I am good. Thank you again for having me on this lucha adventure.
Always fun having you. Always fun having you around. You know you're one of my favorite people. But
Yes.
but we're here to talk about episode 28. I feel like since you're Hawaiian, I should actually let you say the title of it.
Why?
Isn't shoot?
Oh, cause shoots.
Yeah, isn't shoot something in? Isn't shoot?
Yeah, that's what you say. Yeah, that's what you say. Like as you're leaving, you just shoots. Like you're exiting a place. It's like a informal way of saying bye.
I love how you threw up the hang loose there as well with the shoot.
Oh, that's. I can't say it unless I do it. Like I don't know why. It's just a habit here. But yeah, sorry. Episode 28, shoots and ladders.
Yes, and this is from May 20th, 2015. And this starts off with action immediately. We've got, like, again, I already like this guy. I don't know much about this guy, but just he's something about him just screams big personality. And I don't know what it is. Like, he's just so baby faced. He looks like an adult kid. Marty the Moth facing
Marty!
facing off against Prince Puma with Conan. And again, there's the smile is a little bit creepy with Marty, but and that weird,
It's adorable.
and he's doing like the arm flap behind Melissa during the opening of the match. The match starts out with a hug from Marty, and he seems to ask for a picture before delivering a really strong short arm lariat. I mean, Marty is given a good initial look. Like, he's being presented as a legitimate competitor despite his comedic personality. Prince Puma does end up getting the win in good order after taking Marty seriously. And after the match, you see Hernandez make an appearance at the top of the stairs. Conan calls him out as a sorry SOB and says that Puma is ready for their match right now. But Hernandez doesn't accept and just exits of his own accord. So there's a lot going on in this first opening segment.
Yeah, I'm just stoked to finally see Marty the Moth because I love Marty. So I'm excited that now we can finally truly begin the journey of Marty the Moth.
Yeah, which is funny because, like, when I heard Marty the Moth, I assumed that it was like Leo Rush Moth, like Man of the Hour. I didn't realize.
Oh no.
No, it's a literal moth.
Totally different. Yes.
Yeah, because when Leo Rush started using moth, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Marty, Man of the Hour. All right, great nickname, great name. Oh no, he's just like literally a moth. Okay, then.
A moth. Yes. No, I love it.
Like Arthur from The Tick.
No, it's perfect, honestly. It's so good. Just wait. You wait.
Like,
you ain't seen nothing yet.
Like I said, his opening exchange with Dario, it makes me wonder. I need to look more into Marty the Moth. Again, I'm not looking up a lot of these people because I don't want to be spoiled. And
yes. I would suggest don't look him up and then just let this all happen organically because it was a treat for me. It was a treat for me. So
yeah, for the net is dark and full of spoilers, and I'm like, was this guy an actor beforehand? Because something about this guy makes me go, he'd probably be a pretty good actor. But we do get another sit-down interview with Johnny Mundo, justifying his attack last week against Alberto El Patron, saying that El Patron forced his hand, and now he's taking care of his business, and his new business lies elsewhere. Doesn't really say where that is, but I'm curious to see what this means. But hey, if we've got heel Johnny Mundo, the options are limitless. He still hasn't won the Lucha Underground Championship. I'm pretty sure he has it at some point in the series. I don't know when. I would assume he does. Like there's two people I think have it at some point, only because I saw them selling merch with it at other shows. And now that I know what the Lucha Underground title looks like, so we shall see. And Dario has the crew in his office, and he's saying that if they are unable to turn the champs into a sacrifice tonight, it will anger him and it will anger the gods, and one of them will become the sacrifice. So cryptic. It's like, that is a hell of a threat. It's like, yeah. It's like, you don't sacrifice them, I sacrifice you. Okay, I'm down for this. We've got a lot of just little bits of character going here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an exciting direction because now we're starting to see more, especially when talking about these last couple episodes of Lucha Underground with the ancient medallions, right? And everything kind of coming together. We're starting to see more of how Lucha Underground is distinguishing itself from other wrestling promotions. Now, the actual foundation of the show is already so different because it runs it like how we've talked about several times, more like a show rather than a wrestling program. And the storytelling that gets accomplished because of that is very different. And getting to see this new sort of plot line, for lack of a better word, that is starting to come forward with, someone needing to be sacrificed. What does that mean? It's definitely very intriguing.
Very much so. It's been something I've really enjoyed about this show, and I'm very curious, like, what logical or illogical extreme this is going to. I have no idea. I really do not have any idea what to expect episode to episode. But we do get a rematch, and this is Delavar Daivari. I still think the name's dumb, but hey. Delavar Daivari versus Texano. And we'll see if this match actually gets to begin, and it does. Daivari immediately exits the ring and baits Texano to chase him into it. And the way they're presenting Texano, I guess he's a babyface now. And honestly, Texano seems to be in control when suddenly Big Rick comes out and interferes, knocking out Texano, earning a DQ, and Daivari grabs his drink, sips it, as the crowd chants. By the way, one of my favorite chants I've heard so far, like, as he's drinking his liquor, the crowd is chanting apple juice, which I thought was funny. And you sold out toward Rick, which, I mean, clearly he's doing this for cash. I mean, yeah, of course he sold out. That's part of his whole character. He does this for Demone.
And that was an interesting chant to me because, I mean, for better or worse, that's the one consistent thing that Lucha Underground has shown us about Big Rick. He's a prize fighter. Sometimes he fights on the side of good. Sometimes he fights on the side of evil. His main motivation, besides pride, especially when he had gotten turned on by the crew, was money. So to me, this doesn't really come as a surprise, and especially right now, between Daivari and Texano, it's kind of nebulous at best who is what as far as heel-face dynamics. It's definitely starting to seem that the face here is supposed to be Texano versus Daivari. But, I mean, it's hard to glean alignment unless you're familiar with everything that's going on, and including all of the editing and all that. So it's an interesting chant to me. And on the other end of, I guess, that match, 2 DQ results I found, because their last match was also DQ between Texano and Daivari. So I'm wondering what story could they possibly be telling with 2 consecutive DQs.
Fair point. Fair enough. Suddenly, we find ourselves in Dario's office, and he's being tapped by a mystery finger. And as he sits in his chair, a hand appears and tries to grab his key, revealing that it's Katrina, who disappears as Dario agrees to schedule a death match next week between a returning Mil Muertes and Phoenix. And again, I am very curious what direction we went with Katrina's character, because I thought she was with Phoenix. I guess not. She's resurrected Mil. She's magic. She's got Lucha Putty Patrol. I don't know what's happening.
I have a note for the next episode in my notes that I'm going to enjoy screaming as we get to it next episode. But yeah, definitely very, very much leaving us with more questions than answers.
Yeah, and speaking of continuing stories, Black Lotus is walking through a rail yard and apparently has left Dragon Azteca's lair. And she's on her way to kill Matanza. A mystery man tells Dragon Azteca if he doesn't want her to die, he'll need his help. And turns out that mystery man is Chavo. So, wow, we come back from commercial and Chavo is like offering his services to protect Black Lotus if Dragon Azteca clears his business in Mexico. Apparently they're still kind of mad about the Blue Demon thing. And it's shot in a very interesting, constantly moving way. At least it's not a freaking circular motion. I don't know if you watched. I don't know if you watched these shows afterward, but like it was 2 weeks ago. I spun up the Johnny Mundo and Alberto El Patron, and you saw like that. That was an uninterrupted, just 5 times speed. They just kept doing that for the entire shot. Luckily, it wasn't that this time, but it was very organic, very moving, and the surprise reveal of Chavo being back, because he was wished the best on his future endeavors a few episodes ago.
That's right. Yeah, I totally forgot about the specific future endeavors line. But yeah, and definitely very interesting, tying together a lot of different threads here. Now we're starting to see Chavo get involved in a bigger way with what could possibly be on the horizon with Black Lotus.
And I'm hoping that, this is getting very telenovela. Please allow me to get some gifts out of this. I'll need to learn how to make gifts just to gift some of these moments, hopefully, because like this is so overly dramatic and it's wonderful. This is a wonderful, wonderful show to watch, and we are in our main event. The Crew taking on Son of Havoc, Ivelisse, and Angelico. This is a ladder match the Trios Championships, and the Crew attacks before the champs even make it to the stairs. Like they attack them from the top deck of the temple and begin the beatdown on the outside. Ivelisse is still on crutches, so there is a literal handicap in this ladder match. The Crew is more focused on delivering pain than getting a ladder set up, I notice. And as such, Angelico is the first to set up and climb. The Crew is able to interfere, and Son of Havoc becomes the next target with a table set up in the ring. And Son of Havoc gets on the defensive. The Crew takes back over, removing boards from Cueto's office in order to beat down Angelico, who is able to... Oh yeah, because the window's boarded up because Johnny Mundo threw Alberto Matron through Cueto's window, so they just removed those boards to beat him down with. I thought that was a nice touch, just to acknowledge.
Resourceful.
Well, also it acknowledges a continuing environment. Like there hasn't been enough time for Cueto to, they're really busy in LA with doing repairs and stuff, so he hasn't had time to get his window fixed, apparently. Angelico is able to get bail on a table, but before he can leap from the office, Castro beats him down with a kendo stick. There is lucha action and chaos going on everywhere, with the crew standing tall and ready to secure their victory. But Son of Havoc is able to keep on the attack and even puts Mr. Cisco through a table. And when he tries to attack, he hits Bale with a shooting star press that manages to not put either of them through the table. It was one of them Japanese non-selling tables over in the temple.
Yo, yeah. The scariest tables of all that don't give.
Yeah, those ones we see in the Tokyo Dome all the time, where it's like, how did you not break? Or as they call it on Botchamania, I am the table. And as Cortez Castro is alone in the ring, climbing the ladder, Angelico delivers the largest drop kick he can, leaping from, like he did a crossbody last time. This time he does a drop kick all the way from the office to the ring, and Ivelisse makes her way into the ring on one leg and is biting Mr. Cisco's hand to prevent him from from blocking, while Angelico and Son of Havoc try to hold him back. Ivelisse is able to unhook one of the straps, winning the match for the team. So luckily she doesn't need to get all three straps down. She just needs to get one down. They win the match, and Dario looks quite upset at all of this. Man, what a fun match.
Yeah. and I want to point out that my note for this match, as I have it set up, is this is for the trios titles, for the victory, for the honor of Dario Cueto, for their lives. And yeah, definitely they hyped up this match meant. Each person, I think, did a really good job at making us feel what the stakes were, what each personal stakes were. Of course, there's the titles on the line, but there's also that ominous threat of, if the crew can't get this done, then one of them is going to have to be the sacrifice. Now, based on what we've seen in Lucha Underground, what do we think that could mean? Does that mean that one of them is going to be banished from the temple? Does that mean one of them is going to have to, I don't know, beat up the others, and they're going to have to compete to see who's going to be the one left? You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff that could happen.
Get fed to Drago, who has literally transformed into a dragon? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a whole lot that could be looming ahead for them. So definitely very cool. Of course, Angelico always gets that cool spot. Ivelisse, who I think a lot of this storyline has been made to be the sort of cold bitch, as it were, that is a lot more of a shrew or a harpy than a contributing member, compared to Angelico and Son of Havoc. I think she's definitely been a lot more of proving that she is the one that cinches it in the very end. Which, to me, I think that as I've rewatched this before, I saw it more like a, oh man, Ivelisse is, how do I put this? Portrayed as sort of the annoying harpy. But now, as I've gotten older, and I don't know if it's just because after watching it the first time, I watched more Ivelisse. I've gotten to see her live, which I'm very fortunate to have done. She came to Hawaii. She was super cool. I feel like her early portrayal was maybe a little bit rough on her and kind of undercut how good she really is. And I think we're starting to see that at least they're trying to show that, you know, when the chips are down, she's the one that'll come in and save it for her team. So, or she's one of the ones, because of course Angelico gets those spots. But yeah, I like that each person has a very clear role in this trios team.
Yeah, for sure. And overall, what did you think of this episode?
Any episode that has Black Lotus is automatically aces for me, because I really like Black Lotus, and I'm, like I keep telling you, I'm so excited for more stuff to happen so you can see why Black Lotus is so freaking cool. But also Marty, who I loved immediately from the second I saw him, it was a couple episodes ago, and then watching his story unfold in Lucha Underground, it was one of my favorite things to remember when thinking about Lucha Underground. So getting to see more of him always, again, also a treat.
And I thought that there was a lot of really good character work, a lot of really cinematic storytelling in this episode. And again, I mentioned this last week, I think, about Aerostar and I think, yeah, we were watching like Aerostar and Jack Evans, and I said, like, these matches feel substantial despite the fact I don't think they really take up that much time. I think these are, like, in reality, I think they're fairly short matches, but they're structured in such a way that it feels like a lot happens without feeling overly long, and I appreciate that. It allows you to put in more story clips. We even had this, like I said, this time, one where we went to commercial break and came back into the story. Like, we end with a reveal and then come back to action, which is something you will see in true television all of the time. So, really emphasizes the point in this. And, of course, fun ladder match. Angelico, big spot. Very cool. Ivelisse, you do your thing. Very curious also what's going to be going on with Katrina going forward. But you know what? Angie, let everybody know where they can find.
All right. So I am part of two shows based in Hawaii. The first one and my main one is Mid Card Mana. And that is myself and my tag team partner, Sam Kilda, the wrestling connoisseur. We go through more themes of wrestling, some current events. We've been on a hiatus as of right now because, coronavirus has been tricky for everyone. But I did just upload a new unboxing video, so I also do those for the Pro Wrestling Crate and try to follow New Japan. And then the second show I'm part of, which we've also been on a hiatus because Hawaii's been getting crazy, is Valley Isle Collective's Ringside. So that's a little bit goofier. We kind of rib each other a little bit more, joke around about why the backbreak is the best finisher. If we could, would we get chopped by Haku or just punched in the face? Stuff like that.
And you'll find me here. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you know where to find me. YouTube.com/Frisco Flame. But if you're listening to this on audio, then obviously you found us on Spotify or Apple Podcast or whatever your favorite podcast platform of choice is by searching for Underground Lucha Things. And you can find me at Frisco Flame or at R. Felix Finch elsewhere on the internet, on the Twitters, on the Facebooks, on the Instagrams. And yeah, go to friscoflame.com, find some of my shirts. Go to Etsy, look up Frisco Flame, you can find my pins and pops there, and so much more. And for Angie, for myself, peace out, party peoples. We'll see you next time with episode 29 of Underground Lucha Things.
Shoots!